Hi girls, so this week we're talking about the term crunchy, what it means to us and our family, our friends, and also whether our family and friends disapprove of our crunchy lifestyle. So crunchy to me, a general kind of overview of crunchy to me is pretty much trying first to use nature to heal, to clean, to cleanse, to beautify, to basically to try to take everything that we can use to do all those things from nature rather than from a synthetic form. So generally trying to be conscious of the purchases that we make, knowing that we have to buy certain things, but you know, instead of going for the cheap option all the time, going for the ethically you know, better option, the more natural option, and the one that will introduce less chemicals and you know, problems into our households and our families. Being crunchy, I think, also is about excuse me, being willing to get messy, try things out, and you know, if they don't work, laugh at yourself, because you know, you've got to try different things to find the right way that works for you and your family. Also having gratitude for everything that the earth can give us, that nature can give us, and also, you know, treating the earth the way it should be treated. It's a very integral part of our lives, and we should tread as carefully on the earth as we can. And I guess as far as crunchy mama or crunchy parenting is concerned, it's very much supporting home birth, natural birth, breastfeeding, baby wearing, non-vaxxing or selective vaxxing, you know, anti-circumcision, co-sleeping, cloth nappies, cloth products for mums as well, and everything that comes with that. But at the same time, it's not judging. It's not an elite group where, you know, if you don't do those things, you're not part of it. It's just, I think it leans more toward the natural, and you can lean more towards the natural if you don't use cloth diapers, or you know, we do selective vaccinate, so you know, I'm not a non-vaxxing mum, but at the same time, I'm very aware of what's going into my children at each injection, and I have decided which ones I don't think are necessary for them. So as far as for me personally, I don't use a lot of makeup. I don't know if you can tell that. I'm 37 years old, so I was on the pill from like 16 when I had heavy irregular periods to when I was 20, maybe 22 or 23, when I developed an eating disorder and I stopped taking the pill then. I've not been back on the pill since. I had 2 attempts at the Implanon birth control, both which just had terrible side effects for me. So at that point I decided that I was not going to take hormonal birth control anymore. I wasn't going to take anything, have anything put inside me, or have injections. So as far as birth control goes now, it's entirely natural family planning, or, you know, I can tell my fertile cycles. And along with that, I use a moon cup. I don't use tampons or pads because I use cloth nappies or diapers. So I felt there was no point in me using, you know, disposable feminine products as well, because I felt bad enough if I feel bad enough if I use a disposable nappy, throwing it in the bin. So I didn't like the idea of doing that with you know, feminine products as well. So I use a moon cup for every cycle. It's I'm still on a learning curve. It's not, I haven't got it 100% down, but I feel so much better about using that and not having the, you know, the tampons and things to throw away and throw into landfill. I use cloth wipes for number ones. I don't use them for number twos yet. I haven't quite worked up to that. But our nappy bin is in our bathroom, so I tend to go to the bathroom and just chuck the wipe in with Amelia's wipes and nappies, and it's easy enough just to wipe, you know, wash, you know, a handful more wipes every couple of days. I don't use chemicals in the house. The only chemicals that we use in the house are actually my husband's or my partner's. We have snakes, so he has to disinfect their cages, enclosures, you know, properly to prevent the spread of disease. So he uses a product called F10. It's like an antibacterial solution. And that's pretty much like the only type of chemicals we use. I do use dishwashing liquid when I wash up, but if I use the dishwasher, I use bicarb and vinegar. I'm trying to get away from using white vinegar because I don't think it's as good as I'm going to try apple cider vinegar and try to find some other way of cleaning, because the white vinegar is actually it's like the way it's made is quite I don't know exactly, like I've read an article on it and it's not the best and most natural thing that you can use, so I'm going to look into more about that. So as far as my friends and family go, let me see what it says. As far as my friends and family go, most of my friends that I have a lot to do with are all natural parents, so they are pretty much the same as me. They're probably better than me. They eat organic foods, and they're vegan and vegetarian. I'm still working on that. That's my plan for winter. My family wise, how can I put this? We live with my mother-in-law. She is she likes chemicals, and she likes to disinfect everything. So as far as that goes, it's a bit tricky. As far as my partner goes, he doesn't care what I do as far as cleaning and my feminine products and whatnot. He actually doesn't even know that I use cloth wipes. They're sitting on the back of the toilet. I don't know what he thinks I use them for, but anyway. But he was dead. The one thing that we have clashed about, and the main thing, was that he was dead against me having home birth, which was extremely upsetting for me because it was my last baby. Amelia's my last baby, and I really wanted a home birth. I'd had 3 fairly easy births, and I was ready to experience a home birth, and both him and my mother-in-law were dead against it. And given that I live in her house and I needed their support for it, I ended up backing off. So that was a bit upsetting for me, and that's probably one of the main things that we clash over. The other thing is that I don't believe in homework. I'm not a big believer in homework. The kids are in a public school, and he's very much a homework person. And I guess the other thing is gentle discipline. He doesn't smack the kids, but he does yell, and he tends to yell 1 minute and then lets them get away with stuff the next minute. Not, get away, but so we clash a bit over that. But other than that, nobody really knows all the stuff that I do, like in my family, and I like to keep it that way. So, yep, that's about it for me. Thanks. And the only other person who really, and it was really only this one time that she brought something up about how I was raising the kids, and it was my mother. And she was constantly on my back when Harry was small. My eldest was small, not really small, but 5 and 6, that he would behave better if I gave him a smack, and I was dead against smacking. And it wasn't until one day she rang me and she was upset, and I said, "What's wrong?" And she said that her husband, my stepfather, had cropped their horse, her horse, because it was misbehaving while it was getting shoes put on. And I said, "So you're upset because he hit your horse, but you really want me to hit my child for the same type of thing?" And it wasn't until then that she really put it together and thought, hang on a minute, maybe I don't have this right. Because, her and my father both smacked us as children. And, I think that she just felt that it was the okay thing to do. It was the done thing to do, and it was fine. And she also sees that my brother and my sister-in-law, who smack their children, she can see that even though my children might be a bit more rowdy, his children are afraid of him. If he raises his voice, you can see them cowering, and I think that's really sad. So she was the only other one who ever had a problem with how I was doing it, and once we discussed that, she was fine with it. So I guess that's it. I think I've gone too long, so I'm going to have to cut something out. But anyway, I'll talk again next week.